Now, Sports Talk with Broads. Here's Hunter Brody.
Just a terrible day for Philadelphia sports fans. The Flyers lose Game 7, and it wasn't even close. And the Phillies, their winning streak was snapped by the New York Mets. They fell 5-1. It wasn't pretty. It was an ugly watch. And it is what it is. When you win so many damn baseball games, you will eventually fall. You will fall when you probably shouldn't. And it's just reality, right? Let's see if they bounce back tomorrow when it's Aaron Nola versus DeGrom. That's going to be a very special watch. But in terms of this game, it was a dud. Okay, Bryce Harper, he gets ejected for some nonsense, may I add. He's up to the plate. He puts together a nice swing. Was it foul? Was it fair? Bryce Harper shows some energy, shows some passion, and here's the blue, Ortiz, who thinks he runs the show, who wants to have all the FaceTime, and he throws Bryce Harper out of the game. And when you see Bryce Harper's face, it's like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You are supposed to be a professional umpire, and you're going to get all pissy, all frustrated just like that instantly. And he actually spoke to the media afterwards and said, this is what went down. And here is what Bryce Harper stated that happened postgame. The umpire claimed to Bryce Harper, I don't even want to hear you. I don't want to talk about it. When he said that, I was like, whoa, don't get big mad on me that quick. I said, don't talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Just be professional with me. Let's have a conversation. And he gets tossed out of the game for that? What a sick joke. And you would think, whether it's fair or not fair, Bryce Harper being Bryce Harper gives him a little leeway, right? Mike Trout yelling at an umpire compared to Andrew Knapp yelling at an umpire, whether that's fair or not, it's reality. You get a longer leash when you're Mike Trout. Well, Bryce Harper should get a longer leash, and in reality, this shouldn't even be a conversation because in this scenario, it's not as if Bryce Harper went so crazy, went nuts, and started spitting in his face and kicking dirt on him. He was just trying to actually have a little conversation. Did he show some disgust? Yeah, okay, that's what happens when a player is mad at an ump, but it never crossed that level. It never crossed the line, and I think that it was crossing the line from the umpire to make such a big decision like that and kicking Bryce Harper out of the league. Could you imagine? Bryce, you're done! And he plays in some independent league over in Camden with the Camden River Sharks. No, but seriously, kick him out of the game? I would probably be more pissed if he was hitting .465 in his last 10 games. But Bryce has been really bad. He struggled again today when he did have his limited at-bats, and he needs to find a way to get out of this damn slump. The Phillies need Bryce Harper. I know they've put together an awesome stretch of wins, but you need Bryce Harper to get going. You need him to be the guy that can knock in runs for you, that can hit the home run, that can use the whole ballpark. Be like Alec Boehm. Don't stress too much about the home runs and the launch angles. Now get up there, Bryce. Get up there and swing the bat. Ricky Bo pregame was actually doing a good job at showing what was happening with Bryce, and he's trying to pull a lot. So if you're an opposing pitcher, use the outside of the plate. Use the corners. Because right now, Bryce isn't going with it. Bryce isn't doing the Alec Boehm, which is take what you're given. Use the entire field. Here I am telling Bryce Harper what to do. Maybe he listens. I don't know. That'd be nice, though. This episode of Sports Talk with Broads is sponsored by Orbit Energy and Power. With over 20 years of experience in the industry, they are home to your solar experts. There's no risk and no need for investment. With a solar energy system, you can increase the value of your home by an average of 4.1%. They also provide water purification systems, clean and healthy water for your family, backup energy services, battery storage, tree removals, electrical upgrades, HVAC, and more. Make sure you check out their information and their website. It's in the description. So let's get to Spencer Howard's night. Still underwhelmed. I see the stuff. I do. But maybe it's Nick Pivetta and the PTSD I have with Nick Pivetta, Vince Velasquez. I'm not as juiced as I once was about the stuff. He went 4 innings, only had 65 pitches, But in those 4 innings, still not that pumped up about it. First couple starts, here I am, edge of my seat, crying a joy seeing 97, crying a joy seeing the curveball, the changeup. I don't feel that way anymore. I see other teams, and I see their number 1 stud pitchers come up, and I see them succeed. Look at what's happening with the Braves. Look at what's happening with what's going on in Miami with Sixto Sanchez. I expect more out of the number 1 pitching prospect for the Phillies. Am I being harsh? Maybe. Maybe I am. He had 5 career MLB starts. But to this point, I don't think I've seen much progress out of him. I've seen what I've seen so far to this point. I've seen the same stuff. I haven't seen a little bit of something more that I go, okay. I feel at this point I'm just seeing the same Spencer Howard every time he gets out on the mound. Now, he did a good job early. Got some guys out. Put away a couple guys. He finished with 3 strikeouts in his 4 innings, which isn't really crazy, but in his 4 innings, 65 pitches, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 Ks. I just don't know. I don't know. I feel as if I should have more knowledge of Spencer Howard through 5 starts than I do. He put away guys early, and then what happened? A little blip. Well, so far to this point, it seems as innings go on, gets a little bit of a little dip. So here's some stats. He has a 5.66 ERA. Lefties are hitting 354 against him. And in general, players are hitting 318 against him. And they're slugging 708. So, you want some stats on Spencer Howard? There he is. I was sold better than what I'm getting. Bros, he has the stuff. Nick Pivetta had the stuff. Vinny V has an electric fastball. They can't do anything with it. I'm not giving up on him. Don't put words in my mouth. Don't make it seem as if I don't think he can ever become something. But I will put my foot down and say this. Did I expect more through 5? 5 starts, that is? Absolutely. I demand more. I'm big on players developing. I'm huge on players growing as a player, using certain outings as a learning curve, going back to the drawing board, watching film, going through different sequences, working on new pitches. I get it. It's hard to walk in the league and dominate instantly. But to hear number 1 pitching prospect, when Spencer Howard gets called up, he'll be an effective pitcher for this rotation. He's not. He's not an effective pitcher in this rotation. He has 1 win in his handful of starts. He can't go deep into games. He could go deeper than 4 in this game. I get it. But I don't know. I don't leave his outings super juiced up anymore. Fair or unfair, I need to see more. I see the 97-mile-per-hour fastball. I see the curve. I see it. But he hasn't truly put it together yet. And I would think by now there would be at least steps showing of he's starting to put it together a bit. He's starting to last a little bit longer in the games. He didn't do that. Bad news when it comes to injuries for the squad. You hate to see it. 2 outfielders going down. Roman Quinn ran into the wall. He pulled a little Aaron Rowan, and of course the broadcast had to pull up that highlight. Aaron Rowan is the classic Philadelphia sports player that people fall in love with because, oh, look at the effort. Oh, look what he did to Aaron Rowan. Aaron Rowan, come on. My ass, Aaron Rowan. He's the classic, he's a Philadelphia guy. He's a Philadelphia guy that showed hustle and effort. That's what we love. Yeah, I'll take skill over that any day of the week. Hate to break it to you. I'll take skill over the guy who just runs into the wall because he was running hard. Now, with Roman Quinn, that was a knock on Aaron Rowan, and some Philadelphia fans, more so than Roman Quinn, although I do think Roman Quinn in the outfield is just so boneheaded when it comes to IQ of baseball. He's more so just a dude that runs really fast, and because he runs so damn fast, it does change the game on the bases, and you need to implement him into the game, but I don't think he's a very smart baseball player. He just has a freakish skill set that allows him to continue to play all the time. But here he is, running into the wall. He drops the ball when he does it, and he's going through concussion protocol while Jay Bruce is having a quad injury again. And it's a shame because when he is in the lineup and when he is someone who's seeing the baseball very well, he's definitely a difference maker on this club. We talk about the depth of this batting order. Well, guess what? When Jay Bruce has the matchup and when Jay Bruce can do some damage with this team, it helps tremendously. Andrew McCutchen, Rhys Hoskins, Bryce Harper, JT, Didi, Alec Bohm, who put together some nice hitting in this one. It was the one hit, but the one hit still is incredible. Alec Bohm is must-watch when he's at the plate. You heard me? You heard me? It's not about the power. It's not about the lethal slugging numbers. No. He's just a good hitter. He's just professional as hell. He's dangerous. Pitchers should be afraid of him. He'll hit pitches that players should not be hitting. Or I guess you can say that pitchers don't hit anymore. Back in the day, players would knock some of these pitches into certain areas, but due to launch angle, pulling balls, home run or walk out, or strikeout or walk, well, because of that scenario, players don't hit them anymore, but he does. But getting back to the lineup, when you can insert Jay Bruce into those players that I mentioned, Gene Segura, well, it changes the game. And him being out, it's a problem. And now you have two outfielders out, so expect Adam Hazley and maybe some other moves, because it's not as if Scott Kingery is available at the moment either. So this does hurt the Phillies. Now, shocker, there was some fundamental issues in this game. And you can yell at Bryce Harper for this if you like. Neil Walker, a pop-up. It was to second base, but it was in the outfield a bit. And he catches the ball flat-footed. Bang. Mets, they tag up and score a run off of it. But realistically, you would think that's Bryce Harper's ball. Bryce Harper's coming in because I got it. You have some momentum running forward. You can get the ball, deliver it to home to try and throw someone out. Or they don't even try. At that point, with Bryce having so much speed and so much momentum moving forward, they don't even try to go home on that play and tag up. But here's Neil Walker getting the ball flat-footed, and they score a run off of it. That's a simple baseball play. Where's the logic? And I know Gene Segura is always a hot topic. There's a couple guys that are hot topics when it comes to dumb baseball plays. Roman Quinn, that specific play. Rhys Hoskins sometimes, just defensively. I guess that's just him being bad. But there's some guys that lack some IQ. Gene Segura is one of them. A few games ago, there was a situation in the 10th inning where it was first and third. Might have been the 11th inning. Whenever Alec Bohm hit that sac fly, was that the 10th or the 11th inning? I forget. It might have been the 11th. Regardless, I'm thinking it's the 10th in my head. It doesn't really matter what inning it was. But it was first and third. Segura took off for second with Phil Gosselin up to bat. And then they intentionally walk Phil Gosselin. Now, Alec Bohm was the player to step up and make it happen anyway, but it lacks IQ. Why would you steal second and take the game out of Phil Gosselin's hand? Phil Gosselin's probably pissed. Gene Segura in that moment is thinking, hell yeah, I just stole a base and I made sure that there's no double play ball anymore. Well, I don't even know if that's the proper mindset in that scenario. Why would you be thinking about the double play? Because the turn two there, you got to get the guy out going home, right? In that scenario, the scoring run is at third. That's all that matters is that scoring run at third. So a ball hit and play, while I do think maybe there's a slim chance a double play gets turned, the main priority if you're on the other side is, hey, make sure you get the out at home, because if you don't, they score and they win. So him stealing second, you take the bat out of Phil Gosselin's hand. Not that Phil Gosselin's Bryce Harper by any means, but you put the kid up at bat. And it didn't kill the Phillies in that moment because they actually won anyway. But the lack of IQ sometimes with this team blows my mind. Now, I defend Gene Segura, and I say that he's not as bad as some people claim. There are plenty of individuals out there who look at Gene Segura and say, he's not a winning player. He doesn't win. Well, the roster that he is on is never built properly. He's been on bad teams. If he's on a team that has a proper roster constructed with good pitching, good bullpen, and right now we talk about the depth of this lineup, I don't see him being the reason why the Phillies win a championship or don't win a championship. I think he can provide enough offensively to help this team more so than hurt it. But yes, he makes boneheaded plays sometimes, and this team does lack fundamentals at times that they need to clean up. But it's just something that stood out to me that I forgot to mention. And speaking of Roman Quinn and his IQ at times, it just sparked the conversation in my head. Rhys Hoskins stays hot. Rhys Hoskins hits a home run off Lugo. And the fact that Lugo ended up having, 8 strikeouts in 5 innings? Fellas. I didn't realize that Lugo is now Justin Verlander in his prime. Can we get some contact, please? Can we do a better job? But seeing Rhys Hoskins hit that bomb, that was special. It was an early run. I thought the Phillies could be able to run with it, but they were not able to. When he walked up to the plate, I said, wow, if Rhys Hoskins hits a home run here, Flyers are going to win Game 7. I seriously said that. And he hit the home run. I thought, oh no, here we go, baby. Little did I know it would be a nightmare night for both Philadelphia sports teams in play. I have a new partner who I'm planning to do some cool stuff with, by the way, throughout the season. I'm teaming up with Philly's own Stateside Vodka. Stateside is the fastest growing craft spirit in Pennsylvania and the first vodka on the market to actively hydrate the consumer with an electrolyte composition. What's better than this? Stateside is headquartered in Old Kensington, Philadelphia. It's 7 times distilled, certified gluten-free, and top-of-the-line premium vodka. You know I love supporting Philly and locally owned businesses, which is why I'm so excited about Stateside Vodka. So next time you're thinking about buying Tito's, which operated in Cowboys country down in Texas, think to yourself, do I love the Eagles or do I love the Cowboys? We know the answer. There's no better vodka than Stateside. It's award-winning in Philly produced. Go to statesidevodka.com for 10% off the best vodka out there with promo code BROADS on pickup or delivery. Yes, they deliver to counties of Philadelphia, Chester, Delaware, Montgomery, Bucks, Westmoreland, and Allegheny. Promo code BROADS for 10% off Stateside Vodka. Suarez went into the game. It's hard for me to really take away much from Suarez. He hasn't pitched in so long, but he went 1 2/3. He went 1 2/3. Yeah, I wrote 1.5. The hell is going on with me tonight? 1 1/3, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, and 2 walks. So hard to make a real assessment on what Ranger Suarez was. It definitely wasn't a dominant night out of him. Tough spot for him to walk in and just be some insanely effective pitcher right out of the hop. He had to spend time on the COVID-19 list. It took him a long time to get out on the field. He gets thrown into the fire, and this is what he was. I was okay with him just throwing a bunch of pitches, getting some feel, going up against real opponents, not just a bullpen session, not just throwing to throw, it being a legit game. I think that has value for someone like Ranger Suarez, who we are going to need to utilize in the bullpen with this team. We're going to need him to be an effective piece. And if you remember, there were some talks before the season came into play, this was before all of COVID, that he could maybe be a starter in the rotation. So he had high hopes to be a player like that. Now, well, it's not as if Spencer Howard is overwhelming. Is there a chance for him? I don't know. It's probably too soon for him to even be thinking about that. I think it's more down the road of let's get him up to speed in general with throwing actively, throwing every day if he's coming out of the bullpen. Let's get him back to moving his arm against real pitching, and from there they decide what they're going to do with him. But it makes sense at this point, I think, to stick with the bullpen. They need help with the bullpen. Him being there is more beneficial than throwing him in the starting rotation and moving Spencer Howard to the bullpen, right? So I think at this point it is what it is, and you stick with him being in that role for the meantime. Is it disappointing? Yeah, absolutely. They lost their losing streak, and you haven't seen the Phillies play this way in quite some time. But there's always going to be a game where there's a dud after putting together such a great stretch. It's unfortunate that Bryce Harper got kicked out of the game because he's must-watch, and he needs at-bats. Right now, he needs as many at-bats as he can possibly get because he needs to figure out what the hell is going on. He needs to fix the issue. You need JT to get out of the funk, and maybe he's trending in that direction. Let's hope. Let's pray he's trending in the direction of getting out of this thing. And same with Bryce. Please, Bryce, let's go. Let's go. Come on. It's a lot different when the team loses and Bryce struggles than when the team wins and Bryce struggles. Because, oh, look, the Phillies won. It doesn't matter. You put together a 5-1 loss. Well, it's a different story. I would say you got Nola and you got Wheeler. I would say let's go. You got a matchup that you should win. But here's the context that matters. You're going up against DeGrom when Nola's on the bump. See, normally I just look at, hey, look, Nola Wheeler, win those games. Win those games when it's Nola Wheeler. Well, the other side is pretty damn impressive. And when you look at the Phillies in general, they seem to escape having to face DeGrom. That's so important. That's so hard to do, too, may I add. Not playing DeGrom when you're in the same division as the New York Mets. Every time the schedule comes, oh, no DeGrom, oh, no DeGrom. Well, in this one, not the case, but I'm almost intrigued by this matchup. What type of damage can this team do against DeGrom? It's not going to be easy. They probably won't put up many runs, but if Nola does his job and holds the Mets to a couple hits, maybe one earned run, maybe that's enough. We know the story behind DeGrom. He doesn't get much run support from this New York Mets team. So maybe a couple runs does it. Losing Quinn, losing Jay Bruce, well, that definitely adds a problem. That adds some bumpy roads that Joe Girardi's going to have to fix. Let's see what this team is made of, though. They've wowed us to this point. I'm allowing a stinker. That's fine. It happens. That's baseball. Prove to me that you know what you're doing here. Prove to me that this was just a dud. Don't lose 2 in a row, and then don't let that snowball into more. It's not going to be easy. What type of team are you, Phillies? Thank you all so much for listening, and I will see you next time.